All right, so you can see that I've given ChatGPT-4 a prompt. Research the changes that the incoming Republican administration plans to make to K-12 education in the United States, then explain in simple terms how the average student and their families will be impacted by these changes, as well as how educational outcomes might be impacted. And here we get our answer. Expansion of school choice programs. Plans to significantly expand school choice, making it easier for parents to send their children to private or charter schools through proposed tax breaks and voucher programs. Impact on students and families. Families may have more options to choose schools that align with their preferences, potentially including private and religious institutions. However, this could lead to reduced funding for public schools, potentially affecting the quality of education for students who remain in the public system. Reduction of federal involvement in education. Plans include dismantling the U.S. Department of Education, shifting control over education policies to individual states, and reducing federal oversight. The impact on students and families. Educational standards and resources may vary more significantly between states, leading to disparities in educational quality and access. Families might experience inconsistencies in curriculum and educational opportunities depending on their state of residence. Emphasis on, quote, patriotic education. The administration aims to promote a curriculum focused on patriotic values, potentially limiting discussions on topics like gender identity and systemic racism. This approach may restrict exposure to diverse perspectives and critical discussions in the classroom, potentially affecting students' understanding of complex social issues. Families might find that certain topics are less emphasized or omitted from the curriculum. Changes to funding for low-income and special education programs. There are proposals to cut funding for programs supporting low-income students and those with disabilities, including Title I funding and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Impact. Reduced funding could lead to fewer resources and support services for vulnerable student populations, potentially widening the achievement gap and limiting opportunities for students who rely on these programs. Promotion of parental rights in education. They support enhancing parental rights in educational decision-making, including greater control over curriculum, content, and school policies. While increased parental involvement can lead to more tailored educational experiences, it may also result in conflicts over curriculum choices and educational standards, potentially leading to a fragmented education system. The proposed changes could lead to a more decentralized and varied educational landscape with significant differences in educational quality and access across states and communities. While some families may benefit from increased school choice and parental control, others, particularly those in underfunded public schools, may face challenges due to reduced resources and support. The emphasis on, quote, patriotic education and reduced federal oversight could also impact the breadth and depth of students' learning experiences, potentially affecting their preparedness for higher education and the workforce. It's important to note that these proposals are subject to legislative processes and public debate, and their implementation and impact may evolve over time. And you can see there the sources for that came from Reuters, Times, and the Sunday Times, AP News, U.S. Department of Education, Wikipedia, Yahoo, Teen Vogue, AP News, National Education Association, factcheck.org, Brookings, The Hettinger Report, Time, AP News, Snopes, Inside Higher Ed, Politico, Center for American Progress, the White House, U.S. Department of Education, Pew Research Center, U.S. Department of Education, Project 2025, Heritage Foundation, U.S. News, ASCD, Brookings, Project 2025. So we got a lot of resources there, but there you have it. The bottom line is this. The changes that are being proposed are going to widen the gap. They're going to widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots. They are going to make education much more varied and inconsistent from state to state. And in my personal opinion, which I think is supported by what we just saw there, the students that are going to be impacted the most are our most vulnerable students.